Please subscribe and comment, share this information with all your friends and family today. Government contractors, right? Listen, if you are starting to become a government contractor for these reasons only, if you are struggling, you may consider something else. If you need money now, you may consider something else. And if you are delusional and have been told in a delusional way that you can become rich in government contractors, here's some information I would love to share to help you understand why government contractors may be the slowest thing that you ever have encountered. Listen up. I am a government contractor, and I have bid for government contractors all year long. Now, the reason for why I say this is that government contracting is very slow because there's so many people are coming into government contractors. So you're fighting against hundreds of people who want to bid for the contracts of the government. I think it's a good deal to be a government contractor, but however, if you are struggling with money, if you're struggling with finances, or you trying to retire early, government contractor may not be your whiff. I got a book from Kissy, Dr. Kissy. She got a great book about government contractors. She's very familiar with it. She will give you stories about how to do government contract. But however, you need some money. Guys and girls, you need some money because it's becoming more a struggle to be on government contract of 4 or 5 of them in a whole total week, and you find out after the contract has become a bid out that you have lost the contract. Some contractors you lose by a couple of dollars. Some contractors you lose totally because you didn't give the government what they needed. And sometimes when you gave the government what they needed exactly as they wanted, you realize something, that the government made some changes in the proposal that wasn't something that you did or said. You wasted so much time to become a government contractor. Now listen, here's the wonderful thing about it. Once you learn how to do any contract, any proposals, you can do it on the level that you are on. State, federal, or further than that. Here's how you do it. You get on the phone and call companies to see what they need and what they offer. You have less competition when you do that. And then you write the proposal for the contractor, because you're going to be the person in helping them get the job done. And you tell that contractor that you're looking for, right? Maybe they do lawns, maybe they do maintenance, maybe they do cleaning. It's all types of contractors that's in your city. All you have to do is get on the phone and call. Call 10 a day. Hey, what do you need? What can we offer you? Or what do you need that you cannot get to that we may be able to help you facilitate with? They tell you their budget right away. You don't have to think around what their budget is. They tell you it's $25,000 for the contract. This is what we need, blah, blah, blah. Can you do this? How soon can you do it? and you get with a lawn person or a realtor or a person who do yards. Man, guess what? You have the better opportunity to win that contract because they know you. You write the proposal, you write the bid just like you're writing the government contractor, and most likely you can win. Listen, I wrote a book, wrote 3 books called The Business Hustle Owner. I am the business of hustle owner. You are the business. Here's why I say the business hustle owner. Business hustle owner teach you how to get out there, just like I said, to win government contractors and more. So let's do this. Go buy Business Hustle Owner on Amazon, right? On bhoinnovations.com. I will send you free shipping if you buy all 3 books. Now, let's get back to the government contract. Government contractors are having a hard time. And the reason for this is because the low bids. Oh my goodness. Let me explain. I was not awarded the contract, but I put the lowest bid. It was in St. Petersburg, and it was for food catering. Food catering is big business. And since I am a chef, I know food catering in and out. So the people asked for 3 meals during that time, right? They want a lunch, breakfast, and a dinner. Now that's before Trump entered in January. Now the bid was for almost $60,000. We had the lowest bid. We was at $23 to $18 per person. Listen to me. $18 to $23 per person for that contract. And I was in contact with the commander. We had good rapport. The solicitation that I was after, I had went to get the solicitation before the solicitation was on sam.gov. Now, when I did that, I thought I had a connection. That's until the bid came in. The bid came in $50,000 less. They was going to give the soldiers not 3 meals, not 2 meals, but 1 meal at $8.28 per person. That's a sandwich, a chip, and a drink. That's it. And that left me exhausted. And with that exhaustion, I was like, my goodness, let's try this again. I must be doing something incorrect. So I went to the manager, the sergeant in charge of the contract solicitation, and he'd had a cricket moment. He didn't want to answer, but in the email, if you read the emails carefully, you realize something, that he didn't want to answer, but he knew that if he did answer, he would have to answer that they did not want to do it. And since he is the employee of the United States of America, he couldn't do anything about it. Listen, man, I want y'all to have more controls. Even though I'm still going to continue to do government contracting. But I spent 40 to 160 hours. And now when I talk to others that's in the field of government contractor, I come to find out that when PIEE, right, the procurement of the government contractors, and how some people might have to have some money to be in a government contractor, oh man, it left me a bitter taste. But however, they also said this: government contractors are becoming less and more because of the You got to have some money to come in the game. That's the bottom line. I don't have many people here today, but if you're a government contractor, the best thing for you to do, down below, buy your books, call the Business Hustle on them. A lot of y'all have so many goddamn skills, man. Y'all, if you're my age, in the 50s or higher, you realize you got many skills that you have learned throughout your career. Very many. I mean, so much that why aren't you doing something about it? But however, this is what I'm going to tell you. Buy Business Hustle on them. Buy the first book called Continuing Education, Marketing and Advertising. Marketing and advertise your business. Second, Economics and Inflation. Oh my goodness. You'll learn so much more about economics and inflation and how the world really truly works for you and against you. Because America is a what? Business. And America is what? A corporation. Now, second, third, how do you get the money? How do you enhance your life? God creates cash flow. God creates cash flow. All three of those books were only $60, free shipping if you buy it on our website. If you buy it on Amazon.com, hey, they're going to charge you what they're going to charge you. Okay. All right, Prince. That's your opinion. I understand. Driscoll, we got to do a little bit more search, but I know the 13 colonies became what? The United States of America, and the United States had to buy it. Yeah. What's up, my yeast? But however, that's the way it is, man. We lost. We got 13 colonies, became a corporation of one. And when America became a corporation, they bought other states. That's what Trump trying to do right now, trying to, enhance his power to buy Canada and other countries as well. I don't know if that's going to be something that's going to happen. There's no more Napoleon episodes going to happen like that. But however, if that's what they feel that is necessary, we need to be our own Napoleon in our own corporations and start building our own companies as the United States. However, many of us rely on the United States so heavily on the things and gifts and the prosperity of what we call prosperity that we're not allowing ourselves to become manufacturers or people of business minded to win. Now, most of the younger generation is changing that right now. I know my son, he's really changing. He don't want to work for anyone else. But it's only because he has a father like myself who showed him some ways that he become more independent on his own. But however, I want him to work for someone else. The reason for this, to learn from the rich class to the poor class, to the middle class, to the end. If without that knowledge of learning how to grow a business and learning who could be your employees, who cannot be your employees, the bureaucracy and the politics of running a company and working for someone else, you will never understand the logic behind their mindset. You'll never understand. So I want all of you, and I'm glad all of you have came and watched this video broadcast. Hopefully you'll learn something from it. But at the end of the day, government contractors are slow business. It doesn't have enough cash flow to increase your wealth. Use it, utilize it, but however, don't make this the main thing for the main thing. Always have different asset classes that facilitate your leverage so you can know how to pivot your business. Without being a pivot business, you're going to be a servant business. The only type of servant you should have is being a servant to mankind. When you run your own company, when you running someone else's company, such as some people believe that the government contractors are their businesses, but they don't have no outlet. They don't have no outlet. They only have inlet. And when you have only inlet of a business, you are in trouble because you don't have different sources to run it off. Run it off. Like we own a fragrance business, consulting business. We own lawn service business. But however, we own this as the government contractor. Want us to look for people who need the business. They need the business. But if you do the reversal, right? What they offering, you go search and hunt, you're going to be better off. I guarantee you're going to be better off. You're going to win every day. Your business should be like a puzzle that you only know what the pieces are and put them back together. You should be on this every day. Get it. And if you don't subscribe to this channel, I get it. But however, this is something for people who are under stress, struggling, weak-minded, low income, high income, people who don't understand the monopoly of a business whatsoever. This is your channel. God-fearing, gonna give you the best knowledge that I can give and what I have learned over years. Man, guess what? Welcome to BHO Innovation. Please subscribe, make a comment, and share.